Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.
Thank you for inviting me. And top of the day to you.
There is fear.
Yeah, indeed, it's the voter that is the victim. Why? Because these are two elephants that are fighting. And obviously, the beneficiaries of those fights will be the people who ought to have the benefit or to reap the fruit of their labor. And what is the fruit of their labor? Good governance, which is out. Why again? Because there is a lot of distraction, both within and without. My problem with the politicians is that they fail to keep to their promises. Fubara knows that if the chips are down, he can never be the governor. The truth must be told. Fubara knows that there's what you call a godfather. And all of us are just deceiving ourselves that there's no godfather in politics. There's godfather everywhere. Trump, being a former president, knows that he needs some people to support him to coming back to office. Even the present president, what's his name now, Biden, knows that he needs the godfather, the support of some godfather to continue in office. So all these things are playing to the ostrich. Fubara knows that he's a nobody. And I'll draw example from Akinwumi Ambode. When he wanted to overstep his bound, Tinubu clipped his wings. It will happen because there are structures on ground. He doesn't have a structure. He wasn't a politician. And that's why I went to Akinwumi Ambode. Ambode wasn't a politician. He's playing with the Grandmaster. And the Grandmaster in Rivers State is wicked. Everybody knows that. Not even Amechi.
So let's come to
Yes. It tells you nothing. These people are just mere paperweight. You see, to me, I don't know, but to me, I work with facts. The last presidential election showed who is in power and who is either a heavyweight or a paperweight. All these political name facts, or who, if you call them heavyweights, they didn't deliver their words. They didn't deliver their constituencies. Wike did. And it is the person who is able to mobilize that you call a politician grassroots. You can't be a grassroots politician that you can't deliver, and you say you're a grassroots politician. Where do you get your grassroots status and nomenclature and and the name from? Austin Okpara, all of them, Celestine Meha and all of them, they were not able to deliver. So, the person who is able to deliver is now calling the shots. And you say they are shifting. They are just looking for where to. They know the man is the governor. Oh, will they do your own? Oh, will they do your own? The man will look at them and begin to send largesse to them. Simple. Wike and Amechi are different to Wike and Fubara. Amechi was, even despite the fact that he was a politician, Wike was able to overturn him. Not to talk of a Fubara. If Fubara is not a politician, and I'll bring it to the issue of, what's his name now? Ambode and Fubara vis-a-vis. So, these are grandmasters. They are core politicians. These are grassroots men. You can't compare to a civil servant who now just somebody picked him. So if we can call Fubara his boy, he has not said more than enough.
this is practical politics.
Yes, practical.
And it's never true.
Practical. And the practical thing is that a champion will not want to lose his belt.
Yes.
Wike is the champion of the Rivers politics. I know about Rivers politics to the extent that PDP is rooted in Rivers State. Since the commencement of politics, this republic, and for somebody to now plant APC there, then you know that the person is really on ground. These people that you call the movers and shakers, I tell you, they are just playing the politics of notice me. Money day for governor hand, and they won't grab their own. So theirs is to ensure and to make all the noise and pull all the crowds to ensure that the governor thinks that they are on ground. When the chips are down, The Yoruba will say, Oga na master. They are constituted as it is, or they are, how do I call it now? They are constituted in breakages, or in the language now ran off. They are constituted in blocks. Everybody to his own tent. There are various tents. But don't forget that the ultimate power belongs to the federal. Who controls the police? Who controls the security? This is Nigeria. We have seen where 6 has upturned and overreached 22, 26. The result, what we are going through in Edo State, you laughed. It's all right, let's leave it at that.
Okay. So in the eyes of the law, where do the federal lawmakers stand?
In the eyes of the law, that's why it is now. It depends on how the law is moved.
So the members of the assembly, is it those lawmakers that defended, are they still valid members of the House?
They are not valid members of the House, but again, that's just as I told you, it depends on how the law is moved. If those people know what they are doing, and you see, there is this proverb that says the dancing bird has its drummer inside the bush. Before they could take such steps, they have somebody who is now moving, who is supporting them and giving them all the necessary backup before they can take such steps, because they know that it's not easy. But you see that when the chiefs are down, they have security, they have cover, and the majority, they are scampering for safety. Then you know that then, definitely, where does the power lie? And don't forget, well, I studied a little bit of political science. They're what we call the zero-sum game. Where does the power block lies? It does not matter, maybe they are 10 or 50. It is the power, it is where the power lies that becomes the majority. They will be doing anything, and whatever they are doing, they will just be doing it nonsense because they have no status, they have no locus. Don't forget, the House of Assembly, which is the place where they ought to be running the affairs of the assembly, has been destroyed.
Yes, but these are 27 or so lawmakers who left the PDP. Does Rivers have lawmakers today?
No, they don't. I won't say they don't have lawmakers, because these people have been elected by the people by virtue of Section 7 of the Constitution to make laws for the good governance of the state. They have the mandate of the people. Until they are recalled, they will be called lawmakers. So they have lawmakers. The way they now carry out that responsibility now determines which way forward. Will the people stand by? Will the people allow it? Or will those who are the political actors, the gladiators, maybe this now paperweights or heavyweights, depending on, will now call them to order? Because this paperweight or heavyweights come from a constituency. A peace pact is not a constitutional issue. It's just an arrangement that we call it a political solution. So they brought a political solution to solve a constitutional issue. But if the dramatis personae now refuses to go with that process, then definitely the Constitution should take up. And that's why that question you've asked before now will come in, that what role, what are the acts and steps taken by the major stakeholders? And to me, it's a simple thing. This issue on ground is like a madman in a china shop. If care is not taken, it will rock the boat. And I want, because the political gladiators are the one who stands to benefit from all that is happening. And so they must weigh their options very well. How are they going to play their cards so that it will not blow before their face? Simple.
Now, the specifics, take it this way.
The governor stands the risk of being impeached. That's the final. He stands the risk of being impeached.
By the legal house?
Both either illegal or legal, depending on how you see it. You know, I've already analyzed it to you.
You said earlier that house is...
I've already told you.
It's not on 40 grand.
There is neither here nor there, but it is a body that now takes this normal step. They are divided into two. If one comes out and says the governor is impeached, so be it. And that will bring out crisis, because there are some people who want to implement that. If the other house says, no, he's not impeached, Do they have the capacity?
Will the governor sit back and fold his arms when such an...
There are some situations in which the governor can, even if he's raising his hand and boxing people literally, he can't walk. He's not the first governor that will be impeached in Nigeria, and never will he be the last. Governors have been impeached who are even well grounded in politics. I'll give you the example of Ladoja. Ladoja is a street man. He learned from the Adelabu School of Politics, the Amala politics. Ladoja is still alive, but he's an ex-governor who was impeached by his cohorts, that they are core politicians, not to talk of a Fubara, who is a stranger in their team. We are talking reality here. This is not practical. This is not a theory.
But
we have seen deputy governors too. I'll give you the example. We are together in the trenches. Mama Bokno Akerele, she was impeached. She could maneuver, she could do all, but she was impeached. So, and Fubara does not have the clout. I am talking to the world. So it pays Fubara is saying there will be fire, there will be this. He stands to lose everything. Wisdom dictates. The Yoruba will say, let us call a cow a brother so that we'll have peace. And I can't remember the great Mbadiwe, the great Mbadiwe, said, let us have accord concordial. I can't know, maybe you are young, old enough or young enough to know that. That's absolute peace in another way. And he said it again. He said in politics, what the office holder must seek at all times is how to sustain his office, not to overreach it. So I hope Fubara will go to the school, the Mbadiwe School of Politics, to learn some lessons. I don't know, maybe Greg is still around, the son of Mbadiwe, to give him some lesson in politics, practical politics, how to deal. Look at the obstacles in the way of Tinubu. And he became the president, despite all those obstacles. And you say you want to bring fire for fire, and you don't have the structure to work it out. I'm sorry for you. This is real politics. Take it to the bank. Let him begin fire for fire. Let us see, maybe you're going to survive. Don't edit it. Let him hear. Let fire be fire for fire go. It won't disturb the people. He is the one, is the political gladiators, they work against him. All these are the so-called heavyweights. When push come to shove, he will know that it's Oyo. What is Oyo? He is on his own. And before he knows it, they will now be calling him ex-governor. What's it there? Ego? You continue to relate with your Oga is Oga. That's how we know it. Oga is Oga any day. So he wants to denounce Wiki as his Oga. Please go and ask somebody. Let me leave that.
Barrister Wanle Ogwade, President Vote Awareness Initiative. Thanks for your time on the spotlight.
To God be the glory.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.